Noroksh, a dust man I met in the Gathering Dust bar, told me of a mausoleum where the dead walk. He wanted me to look into the matter. He said the mausoleum entrance was north and west of the Dustman Memorial outside of the mortuary. He said I should go to the archway there, make a semicircle over my blah, 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 blah. Let him know.
All right.
Been a while since we were here, huh? Actually, any news about the post? This filthy-looking corpse is in a sad shape. Its shoulders are slumped, and one of its legs are broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains covered from head to toe. Judging from the smell and texture, the stains run from rotten fruit to mud and bird droppings. To add to the indignity, graffiti has been carved into its body, and several notices have been nailed into its chest, back, and head. New stories bones tell, Billy on the corpse. This corpse makes no reply. It looks like it is too far gone to answer your questions. No! He's the most interesting corpse in the game, so I thought I would talk to him. Where's Noroksh? I don't think I've entered this room a single time since I first came here, which is surprising. You see Noroksh. He is pulling at one of his spikes of hair and using it to scratch a spot on his face. You can't help but think that he looks a lot better with he would look a lot better with dreadlocks. What does that mean?
Done.
So I take it the place he was sending me to was not where I went. But it was probably this place where when I came in here, they're like, leave this place. And then I actually did and never came back. Yep, the Mausoleum. Technically a whole new location, but I've met the silent people now. I think this guy's gonna fight me. Oh, there's a crowd.
Endure.
Aye?
In enduring, grow strong.
So, like, was D&D... It's a little too loud to turn it down on my end a little bit. Was D&D 2.0 kind of just boring? Like, I've even played other D&D games before, and I usually have more abilities than this in them. Well, there's something kind of goofy about... I can't help but imagine these fights would be very time-consuming if I played them in real D&D. Like, they swing so many times in order to land their tiny handful of hits, and then their hits don't do that much damage. In the D&D games I've played, people die relatively quickly. So does this place connect to the other place full of undead, or is this a different set of undead? Ow. Rude. Explode.
All right.
Oh. Stehan Rune Shadow. You see a mid-sized man in long robes of deep black. His hair is neatly coiffed, and an impeccably trimmed goatee complements his handsome features. He might be the bad guy. Noticing your arrival, he puts down the book he was writing and strides confidently over to you, smiling. Impressive! I must admit, I never thought you would make it this far. I'm glad to have disappointed you. Are you the one responsible for all the walking dead? Who I am is of no consequence to you. What I want is the question of what I want is the question that should concern you most. As he speaks, he looks you up and down as if somehow fascinated by you. Very well. What do you want? He takes a step back and cocks an eyebrow. I want your blood. Is that some kind of threat? The man starts to answer, but... stops himself abruptly. An evil smile spreads across his face, and he begins to laugh. Yes, I suppose it is. He continues to laugh even harder at his own private joke. You notice that his hands have begun to move at his sides. Slowly they flit back and forth, tracing intricate patterns in the air. I accidentally ended it or something. I think I thought it was like a reveal more button or something.
I will hear you. Balance in all things.
Might as well obliterate this guy. What's going on up there? Anna, attack roll. Horror. Attack roll, Anna. I don't know. Anna might have been affected by horror. I see it here, but Dakon saved against it. Piercing damage. I don't know. It's too awkward to read in its entirety to find exactly what I'm missing. Boy, would this be a good time to have an AoE. Can I level her up in the middle of a fight? Boom, now she has 49 health. Yeah, you know what? Stab him. How long is Anna gonna be like this? Okay, what's... I assume some kind of horror thing is getting her... Horror, yeah. And Scripture of Steel. So I guess she's just running away afraid continually.
It is I.
This would be a good time to have the guy that... Yeah, it'd be a good time to have Morte, because that one specific ability is strong against people that, Get him. Oh, he's dead. Oh, killing the Necromancer makes everyone collapse. +1 edged weapons. And other stuff. There, we got 2 dings. And you're not far off.
All right.
Bracelet. Only usable by mages. The Magus Guard, the same one? Is there another bracelet? No. Well, I guess I'm selling that. It's just the same item again. Gotta remember to look at his spell book. Magic Missile. 2 to 5 points of damage. 3 to 6. Gains 1 extra missile every 2 levels. For a total of 5 missiles level 9. Is 9 the cap back then? Okay, so this is a stronger magic missile. And Chromatic Orb is complicated. Big wacky RNG attack. I don't know if I want to deal with that specifically. Power of 1's pretty alright. Swarm Curse, Ice Knife. Spell fires a magical ice dagger at the target. The caster must successfully hit with his normal missile attack roll. 2 to 8 damage per... Causes 2 to 8 points of damage per dagger. just a giant block. It's a rough read when it's just a giant block of text like that. I can't help but worry that Swarm would have friendly fire. It says it attacks everyone in range.
Done.
Another bone dagger. We've seen this before. Strahan's diary. This leather-bound tome is cracked and worn with age. Some sort of crest has been burned into the cover. You can make out a series of interlocking triangles centered around the initials SR. The writing upon its pages has faded considerably. The last few entries seem to have been penned recently. Day 2 of the 127th year of Factol Hashkar's reign. At last, I have found it. The missing page of the Aptage Grimoire is now in my possession. As I had guessed, the page detailed the necessary components for the casting of the final transformation spell. I have all but one of the components. A drop of an immortal's blood is all that stands between me and the eternal power of lichdom. But where can I find such a rarity? Perhaps I should seek the answer through divination. So he's looking for my blood? Yep. He's trying to become a lich, which I'm pretty sure is like, by D&D law, has to be an evil creature. After days of taxing divination spells, I finally have my answers. The divination reveals the location of an immortal to be somewhere within the ancient mausoleum located in the hive section of Sigil. I must make haste. I must find this creature and draw its blood before it moves on. Day 15. I have arrived at the mausoleum. Immediately I was set upon by a shade that guards the remains of those interred within this place. I managed to elude the spirit and found my way into what appears to have been some sort of inner sanctum, protected by some minor wards to prevent any further interruptions by that supernatural twit. I have set upon raising some of the locals to conduct research, to conduct a search for the immortal. If the divination was accurate and the immortal is here, then likely it is interred within one of the many crypts that line these halls. It's only a matter of time now. I am not alone. Someone has entered the mausoleum and is interfering with my servants. Could this be the one I seek? The divination revealed only that I would find the immortal here. Could it be that my presence in this place has prompted that which I seek to seek me out? What a delightful twist. I shall have to... And it's still wet. So he was writing that journal when I walked in. And then he died shortly thereafter. What a noob, what a loser, what a dummy, hoo-hoo. What a boy of cringe. I'm guessing the person that they're talking about is the person who accosted me at one point. That's probably them. As you step into the corridor, the guardian spirit materializes before you. Its ghostly countenance regards you benevolently. I thank you. You have done me a great service. The spirits of my charges sleep quietly once again. Go in peace, friend. The apparition fades away, leaving you alone in the deserted halls of the mausoleum.
I feel stronger.
I feel stronger. 1 hit point gained. Hee hee. I'm a fighter with no fighting stats, except for all the strength right now. Wow. So he gives me a big bonus. I guess being a fighter isn't necessarily that much. I'm probably gonna comments about that. I just figured I don't really have casting stats, so I might as well be a fighter instead, since all I'm doing is meleeing people anyway. So I might as well have proficiency with the weapon I'm using and have a better weapon. But I also don't have, like, fighter stats. I have horrible strength, and I'm pretty sure, and I think that affects hit chance. Does it in this game? Strength affects your hit chance in other ones. Yeah, accurate and damaging. But yeah, my dexterity is my chance of getting hit. It doesn't affect my chance of hitting. Unless I misread that because I'm going a little fast. So are all the skeletons unconscious again? This is a whole lot of Mausoleum.
Ready. Might as well.
Just trying to deal with this massive inventory. Oh, group up people. But at least having a mage, this mage around means I can give I can give myself a decent upgrade to my strength to help make up for him being a terrible warrior. Ultimately, I don't think I necessarily made the best plan for my build, or really had a plan. Probably just kind of generally fucked it up. These are mostly just a bunch of confusing tunnels. I think I'm ready to move on. With how dense the environment is of making economical use of space and everything, it's a little surprising whenever you get like, whenever you just wander in and there's just like a little dungeon and all you do is quickly do like the one thing in the dungeon and then you just kind of leave. It's a level of disposability to like a cave or whatever that like is normal for Western RPGs but less common for a game that feels like this, where it's almost a little more in the Disco Elysium Yakuza territory, where it's just like, we don't have time for disposable content, fucking everything's gonna get used as much as possible. I found out what was going on in the Mausoleum. The dead sleep again.
Updated my journal.
Norok's lines of worry smooth out as you speak. Thanks, give I. He reaches into his robes and draws forth a small bag, which he hands you. Copper coin, twice 100. Thanks. Glad I could help. Farewell. Not a lot of experience, not a lot of money, but task complete. Got a lot of bullshit in my inventory. Here, you can have a silver ring. It doesn't do anything. Isn't that exciting? Still need to figure out who to give this to. Oops. Oops. Okay. I only lost a little progress. I accidentally hit L. Which is not good. There we go. I think I was aiming for J. I think I was trying to open my journal in the moment. My brain got wiped out of what I even tried, whatever I was even trying to accomplish, because I freaked out that did I just undo the entire quest potentially? I was not. I was alarmed. Find the source of Farad's bodies for Emmerich. Emmerich might have also been in here.
Done.
Death of names. Greetings. I'd like to bury a name. S. Anon.
Updated my journal.
The coppers fall into Death of Name's hand, and he tucks his arm back to his side. His eyes, now suddenly alive, roll to the back of his head, then snap forward and begin scanning the monolith and walls for the memorial area. He catches sight of a spot on the wall, and he quickly scuttles over to it, hunches down, and begins to chip at the wall. He stops a few moments later, hops up, and then returns to you. Buried. The word has a finality to it that makes you uncomfortable. Thank you. Farewell. So we were asked a long time ago about being able to make a tombstone for that guy, for the city that they lost. That's an approach. I thought almost immediately that that'd be what I'd do to solve that problem. I think I was busy just kind of exploring the area and stuff like that for a while. The door has been sealed. Where is Emmerich? I should speak to someone named Emmerich at the Gathering Dust Bar. Did I just not see them in the ocean of people and names? It can be hard to scan all the names, because every random character has one. Awaiting Death, Old Copperized, Norokch. Seer. Morte Dustman.
All right.
Is he back here? Ah, he was out of line of sight. I spoke to Farad and discovered where Farad was getting the bodies he brings to you. Where do the bodies he brings us come from? They come from the catacombs beneath Sigil. He's taking the bodies you have buried and selling them back to you. When you bury them again, he just digs them up again. It's like the idea of seeing people's reactions to this. Emmerich falls silent. He is staring at you with a stony gaze, and you are suddenly struck with the feeling that his eyes are burrowing into your skull. Ah. Emmerich nods. You have done a service to the Dustmen. He removes his hands from his sleeves, then lets his long sleeves drape across the table like a curtain. When he pulls them back, a small lapis lazuli coffin lies upon the table. It is a tiny thing, barely 2 inches wide and 3 inches long. The Dustman symbol is engraved in the coffin lid. As you pick up the coffin, it chirrups, unfolds, and dissolves into a stream of hundreds of copper pieces, which you somehow manage to keep from spilling across the floor of the bar. How all these coins fit into the tiny coffin is beyond you. Farewell. Rude, frankly. He could have warned me that it's like a bullshit magic trick coffin. Like, rude? Annoying? No consequence for me, because we just magically instantly solved it, but okay. We are chipping away at our quest right now. So a lot of the stuff is explored. I need to go back on old details. I met a strange man in the hive with shifting lines on his face. He claims to be a soldier from a religious order, but his vows won't let him raise his hand against another. He said a group of thugs in the hive have taken his necklace of prayer beads from him. He's last seen the thugs by a bar that burns inside, and they were dressed in red and black. I told them I'd fetch the necklace for him. Curse of Stench. He was cursed by some fat, balding man who favors dressing in orange. The curse spitters probably lives in the upper wards, where Reekwind used to live. I haven't been to the upper wards yet, have I? Or is all of this the upper wards? I don't think the hive is the upper wards. And the new area I've discovered is the lower wards. But I might have access to the upper wards now? Yeah, nothing's called the lower wards. Also, there's all this extra area, but I've never crossed this stitched up boundary. I don't know if this is just supposed to suggest more world exists, or if the game will actually take place in those areas. Right, okay. Going to the burning place.
I'm gone.
These the thugs dressed in red and black? Oh yeah. This heavy-set thug is swathed in rags, dyed red and black. Swathed, I think. He looks like he's made of almost pure muscle. He glowers as you approach. Greetings. And how can I help you then, Governor? This man's face breaks into a sneer. Looks to me you need a healer. Are you the ones who robbed a monk in the hive? Took his prayer bead necklace. Some sod with lines scrawled all over his face. Claimed you could put us all in the dead book. Yet lets us bob 'em blind. The man gives a slow, toothless smile. Never even heard of such a sod, I haven't. Perhaps we could come to an agreement. The necklace is of no value to anyone not of his order. Perhaps I could buy it from you. The man frowns. No, I'm attached to it, I am. Can't let it go except for a hefty bit of coin, say 15 copper. Done. Right then, it's a deal. Here you go. Sure. Why not? 15 copper. He wants baby amounts of money. Wait. Think he was by the market? Right, I'm making a conscious effort to go to the right spot, but I don't need to. Oh, it just pops me in the middle of this place. Yes, squirrel. My pet Limlim's still here, just wandering around. Craddock, Reekwind. Porphyron. Porphyra. If the game doesn't help me, it's a lot of effort to find specific characters sometimes. Crier of Es-Amon. I have seen to it that Es-Amon's name has been remembered. It lies carved upon the black stone monument outside the mortuary.
Updated my journal.
Suddenly there's a brief whisper in the air, and the man's eyes dry. One of the tears that ran on his cheek simply vanishes. Then Es-Anon is served. I will tell my fellow criers of the stone you have described. You have my gratitude. It was nothing. Farewell. I hope you and your brothers spend the rest of your days peacefully. I have left an unreasonable amount of loose ends. Just because I was trying to, like, do these zones kind of front to back. Where the I have no idea where Porphyron is, though. These are mostly generics. Iron Nulls. Let's see. Porphyron. Can Google help me out here? Northwest Hive, okay.
Done.
That is a mistake I would make. Because that's the dangerous zone, where we're in danger. I might be able to defend myself there now. Because this is enchanted. It might be possible to fight the Abishai. But I've just been having long-standing consequences from choosing to not even attack one, but just talk to it. Uh-oh. But thankfully I can now run in circles, so that's great. I no longer have to fight that guy. Maholt? This man appears less dour and wary of passerby than the people around him. He moves with an upbeat gait, casually scanning the ground to either side of him as he goes. As you approach him, he nods a friendly greeting. Greetings. Hello, Kata. Say, you seen any deados about? None nearby, no. I had some questions. Too bad, too bad. He shrugs. Had some questions, did you? Ask away then. What are you looking for? Debtors, of course. Don't you recognize the robes of a collector? He grabs a hold of the cloth and holds it up for your inspection. No. Aye, collectors. He indicates his ragged brown robes. These are collector's robes, Cutter. Any poor sod you see wearing these, me for instance, is more than likely looking for debtors. Bodies to sell to the mortuary. He shrugs. Whatever it takes to get by in the hive, right? Haha. Do the collectors work together? He laughs heartily. Hells no. We all dress the same, but there's only so many debtors to go around. We band up, usually, and compete in bands, packs, gangs, whatever you like to call them, aren't none too friendly with one another. Are there rival packs of collectors near here? He nods. Sure as sigils round. Most collectors in the hive can kip in Picker Square, a dump just north of here through the large gate. It's mostly run by Sharegrave's laddos. Now, since we fought most of Pharaoh's boys off. Farod. And farewells to you too, Cutter. He's just a friendly dude. Oopsie. Stop shift tabbing. Damn you, Steam. Baurior. Take Arlo. Can I rest here? 5 coppers, alright. Thank you. Wow, you do. The other people in this party do not recover very much from resting. Why is he always sleeping?
Done.
Yeah, this is just a place to rest, I guess, with nothing else going on. Nope.
Done.
Porphyron, there he is. Awkward sitch to be in. You see Porphyron. He is still standing grimly in the street, paying no heed to the passers-by. The web of lines on his face is staggering into a series of right angles. This one addresses you, Porphyron. As you speak, the angles on Porphyron's face relax into a series of strange curves. This one would ask, do you have the neck rope of beads that was stolen? I think so. Is this it?
Dated my journal.
This one sees what you hold. Those are the beads once missing. He takes them from you. You notice his hands have the same tracery of lines upon them as his face. This one has a question. How did you get the beads from the tree? I purchased them. This one would know. One who fights with coin carries a name in the order of Eret Agi. Porphyron's face breaks into angles then. Those ones are called merchants. It is a path without discipline and without honor. If you were a true warrior, you would learn to use every weapon at your disposal. This one bestows apologies. This one meant no offense. The angles of Porphyron's face sharpen acutely, then slowly curve into ripples. This one bestows several welcome thanks for your service, yes? You're welcome, I think. I have a question for you, though. If you cannot enter combat, how did you get your warrior training? This one clarifies. The Eret Agi may train with one when there is no anger between them. I see. Can you teach me to use those weapons? This one can instruct you, yes, but this one warns you, with knowledge of violence comes temptation to use it. I sure hope so. This one speaks. Is it your will to leave behind your previous profession? The path of the warrior cannot be walked. Cannot be walked with an unfocused mind. I have no profession other than fighting at this moment. I would walk the path of a warrior. This one will instruct. The lines of his face fold into triangles. These things comprise the angles of your training. Focus, experience, proficiency. I don't understand. Can you explain?
Updated my journal.
This one will speak of focus first. For teaching to take root, you must have focus. You must have be committed to the path of the warrior. The warrior is a profession, no other. Understood. I can only be the fighter class if I want to learn about weapons. What is the next angle of training?
Updated my journal.
This one will speak of experience. True knowledge of combat comes only with experience. There is limit to how much weapon instruction one may absorb. When you reach a new level in the art of warrior, it may be you are ready for new instruction. Understood. There is a limit of how much I can learn at first, but this limit may increase when I reach a new level. What is the next angle of training? This one will speak of proficiency third. There is only so much one may learn about any weapon. This one would add, there is only so much that this one can teach. Knowledge of the weapon comes at 3 levels, the ignorant, the proficient, and the specialized. There are levels between each of these, in which the student has surpassed previous learning, but has not yet reached the plateau of the next skill. What are these levels? This level of the ignorant is thus. When one does not know the weapon they use. The attack is clumsy, the damage is less than its potential. That sounds like me when I woke on the mortuary slab. Go on. What is the level of the proficient? The level of the proficient is this. When one has learned a weapon, he is said to be proficient in its use. His attacks are no longer clumsy, they come swiftly and surely. And the level of the specialist?
My journal.
The level of the specialist is this. When one goes beyond proficiency and becomes specialized in use of the weapon. The weapon is no longer a tool but extension of will. Alright, I understand. What can you teach me of weapons? So can I learn more about axes and become super proficient? One who would use the axe. Its speed is not that of the club, but its damage is greater. It slashes with a great claw at the body of the opponent. Do you wish to use a portion of your talent to attain the level of the proficient with this weapon? Yeah.
Updated my journal.
This one will instruct you. First, stand like so, blah 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 blah. Did I actually get better at axes? Did I become plus? Axe plus, yay! I'm a cool boy with my 9 strength. I'm very good at this. Well, that's that. That's good. Yeah, we're pretty done with this area now. Okay. A lot of loose ends taken care of. Yeah, Porphyron disappeared into the background because he's in the danger place that I just have had to run through for the longest time now. I don't think we have an upper ward yet, so we'll stick to the lower ward until I'm done checking out this place for similar reasons. The Coffin Maker. This one blends in. I would not have recognized this as being a spot to check out without the map. Hamris and Dimitri. We've heard about these people an eternity ago. You see a rugged-looking, square-jawed man. He turns to you with a wide smile. How are you, Cutter? Good day to you. Good day indeed. He squints at you for a second, then juts his hand out to shake yours. Greetings. Hamris at your service, member of the Harmonium, and the fashioner of fine coffins for the recently departed. I think I know you, do I not? Let me see if I can place it. He pauses to think a moment. Sharp with names I was in the Harmonium, let me tell you. Knew everyone on the entire ward. My name is Adon. He snaps his fingers. Of course, Adon. I knew I recognized you. Anyway, you require my services? He studies you, then smiles, seeing the opportunity for a joke at your expense. It seems to me, sir, you are one in desperate need of a coffin, and soon. He seems pleased with his wit. I have some questions. He nods at you. Ask away. He gives you a broad smile. This guy was mentioned a long time ago, but I don't remember if it mattered. I hear your father died. Can you tell me what happened? He frowns at you. Well, he disappeared some time ago, so I can only assume that he is dead. Where did you hear that? I don't recall. You say he disappeared. He nods. Oh, yes. Many, many years ago. My father was a talented stonemason, and he did not only construct sarcophagi, but he was also quite skilled in tomb design. People from across Sigil... The room begins to fade around you as the memory tugs at your consciousness. Remember.
Updated my journal.
You find yourself standing in this very shop, talking with an older man, while a child sits in the corner and plays. On the counter between you and the shopkeeper is a set of plans. He seems to be explaining some intricacies with the construction of the tomb. Your vision fades as you try to examine the details of the plans. When your sight returns, you are standing in a cavern in front of the tomb. Above the entry you see the slogan, Engineered for Eternity, clearly carved in the stone. The shopkeeper is standing next to you, a broad smile on his face. He gestures to you and begins to walk into the tomb. You quickly match his pace from behind and draw your blade. Oh. Did we kill him? Or were we on a mission with him? It sounds a lot like we snuck up behind him once he showed us where we were going. You find yourself back in Hammer's shop. He's looking at you with some concern. Are you well, sir? Tell me what happened to your father. He simply vanished one day, leaving most of his commissions unfinished. Most embarrassing. Took a long while to get out of the debt caused by his disappearance. And to an extent, I am still settling various accounts. Still, I have a certain aptitude for the work, and... He sighs lightly and gets a faraway look on his eyes. Sorry, I was just thinking. My father's disappearance was the reason I joined the Harmonium, and left it later on. At first, I had a burning desire to find out what happened to him. Later, I felt a certain obligation to continue his life's work. He sighs. I never found the answers I sought. It was quite the mystery as to what happened. His voice fades to silence. Did your father keep any of the plans for the tombs he built? He thinks for a moment. Yes, he did. After I came of age and inherited the business, I went through all of his records. They were quite extensive. Why do you ask? If I describe a tomb to you, could you tell me if it was your father's work? He frowns in thought, then shrugs. I can but try. My Harmonium training has blessed me with a sharp memory. I should be able to recognize my father's work if you give me enough details. He looks at you expectantly. Describe the tomb from the memory. He thinks for a short time. There is little doubt that the tomb you describe is my father's work. The slogan you mentioned has been the family trademark for several generations. He pauses and gives you a strange look. This tomb, where is it located? Describe the location. You describe the location in detail, surprising yourself with the knowledge you have of the area. Hammers watches you with a concerned look. Odd. I don't recall anything in the family records that would even have permitted him to construct a tomb there. The Dustmen are very careful about building rights and real estate, especially beneath the streets of Sigil. Then you recognize the location? He nods enthusiastically. Oh, yes. Sounds like the Drowned Nation's catacombs to me. He pauses. I've never been there myself, but I've heard the area described many a time in my years in the Harmonium. I need to know if your father kept the plans for that tomb. Yes. The warehouse where I store my goods handles the business documents as well. Anyway, they are having internal problems of some sort. New management or some such nonsense. I haven't been able to replenish my stock of late, and I doubt I could retrieve any paperwork from them either. He frowns. The Harmonium would never let things get so out of hand as to cause distress to its customers. His voice fades away as he thinks, and then looks at you. Perhaps you would look into the matter for me. The warehouse? Yes, the warehouse is having some internal problems of some sort, whatever that means. I can't get any stock from them until the matter is cleared up. He frowns. The Harmonium would never... I guess I don't have a choice if I want the plans. I'll do it.
Updated my journal.
He smiles broadly. Excellent. If you deal with this issue satisfactorily, you'll have your plans for free. He gets that lecture look on his face again. That may not seem like sufficient payment, but let me tell you about the difficulty involved in creating those plans. No thank you. I'll just get started on this right away. Farewell. Well now. So this time I might actually need to deal with the warehouse situation. It was strange that the other NPC mentioned the warehouse problems, but then I just didn't need to actually investigate. We just moved on with our lives, and it wasn't a big deal. You see a tall, slender man with a glassy-eyed expression. He seems engrossed in some tale that the shopkeeper's relaying. Occasionally he nods his head, but makes no comments of his own. Greetings! The man turns slightly to your greeting, just enough to acknowledge your presence. You notice that he is a little pale of complexion and rather gaunt-looking. He's giving you a blank stare. The shopkeeper does not seem to notice any of this and continues with his stream of useless prattle. Wow, rude. Are you all right? The man continues to stare at you and slowly nods. You wait for any further response, but he says nothing, only stares. You're about to turn away in frustration when you think you notice a strange, musty odor about the man. Step closer and sniff. You lean in and sniff at the man, unsure what you'll find. As you do, a musty odor fills your senses, an odor you recognize from your time in the mortuary. It is the smell of dead flesh preserved by magic. You're a zombie, aren't you? The creature continues to stare at you blankly. Slowly, as if with great effort, he begins to reply to you. Only your speak with dead power makes him understandable. Yes, I am Dimitri. Why are you here, Dimitri? Dimitri slowly glances at the shopkeeper and makes a feeble gesture towards him. Seeing this as a sign of interest, the shopkeeper redoubles his efforts in telling whatever tale he is relaying to this poor creature. Dimitri looks at you again. Hamries. He talks. Hamries never stops. Wanders town. Annoys master. Annoys everyone. Master create Dimitri. Tells Dimitri talk Hamries. Now Hamries stay in shop. Master happy. Town happy. Dimitri sad. Dimitri sad. No! Pass the butter. What is my purpose? To pass the butter. Oh my god. Alarming. It's it's a bad time. They made a zombie just to distract this guy so he doesn't annoy everyone, but now he's just getting the concentrated blunt of it all. Is there anything I can do to help you, Dimitri? Kill me. The creature pauses, then resumes his slow speech with you. You can almost detect a pleading tone in his voice. Yes. Find Master. Sebastian. Ask him release me. Please. He turns his attention to Hamries momentarily. Please. Why don't I just put you out of your misery? Dimitri barely shakes his head at you. No. Master revive. Must ask Master. Sebastian. Please. He awaits your answer. Sure, Dimitri. I'll see what I can do for you.
My journal.
Dimitri. Thank you, friend. Questions? Nope, no questions for him. Where did Sebastian send me to? Oh, right, inside the foundry. Won't be doing that for a bit.
All right.
I now have reason to go back to Sebastian before that. Oh, wait, no, Sebastian had a different goal. Wait, what was Sebastian's objective? Oh, kill the Abishai. Named Grosuk.
I'm gone.
I should update Lenny. Nope. Can't talk to Lenny about that. Not this time. Have you completed your quest? Actually, I want to talk to you about Dimitri. He stares at you for a moment and sighs. What about Dimitri, Cutter? He wants to be released from his curse. He gives you a surprised look and then waves you off. I find that hard to believe, Cutter. Dimitri doesn't have the mental power to desire anything. He frowns for a moment. Did that idiot Hamries put you up to this? No. He glares at you in thought. Hamries is a lackwit. I doubt he could figure out who could have done this. He sighs and shrugs his shoulders in exasperation, which means that poor Dimitri is more aware than I thought. He looks away from you and seems deep in thought. So, will you release him? He looks at you for a moment with conflicting emotions crossing his face. He sighs and throws his arms up in exasperation. I cannot, sorry. He gives you a pleading look. I want to, mind you, but I cannot. I fulfilled a contract by creating Dimitri and I cannot break it. Right or wrong, I am a man of my word and my reputation demands it. Who contracted you? Maybe I can get them to agree to his release. He smiles at you. I am magically bound not to reveal such information, Cutter. This is why people come to me. They know that if I accept a contract, it would be handled with discretion. There's somebody that just wanted Hamries to be dealt with, basically. I understand. That's the way business should be conducted. Could I release him instead? That would be difficult. He turns and begins to look through a nearby box. After a moment, he removes a book, which he sets down in front of you. First, you'd have to have some magical aptitude. Second, you'd have to be able to properly speak the words you find on page 23 of this book. Lastly, you'd have to touch Dimitri just as you feel the power of the words culminate within you. He turns his back on you and rummages through another box. I couldn't allow you to read that book, however. It'd be tantamount to my breaking my word without the actions of another. Through the actions of another. He continues poking through the box, ignoring you.
Updated my journal.
And then I sneakily read the book anyway, even though it's not very sneaky. He wanted me to do that. Oh my god! Going from levels 6 to 7 requires doubling my experience. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that spell capping out at level 9 seems to be in line with everything else capping out at that level. Might as well see if I can deal with it or not. I don't have magical aptitude at the moment, but I have a party member that does. You find master? Dimitri release? Yes, Dimitri, I know how to release you now. Please, friend. Speak the words that Sebastian taught you. You pause to gather your thoughts, then carefully speak the words Sebastian taught you. Then you reach out and touch Dimitri lightly on the forehead. Rest well, Dimitri.
Updated my journal.
4,000, wow. With a sigh, the zombie collapses at your feet. You think you hear a fleeting, thank you, friend, as he falls to the ground. I think you just said, you're the best friend a man could have, Dimitri, right as Dimitri exploded. He has no reaction to Dimitri just dying in front of him. That's a little weird. You think he'd have a reaction of some kind? Oh hey, pressing C makes the camera follow him. That's nice. Alright, it's about time to actually look into what's going on behind the scenes here. This is how you get back there? Talk to the one in the middle, I guess. You see a thin, skulking man. His long, nimble fingers quiver slightly, and he has trouble meeting your eyes when he talks to you. You startled me. I haven't seen you around here before, stranger. What do you want from me? Who are you? I'm Connell. I work here? And what is this place? He looks at you carefully to see if you're joking. It's the Vault of the Ninth World. It's a storehouse. Didn't you read the sign when you came in? Not that carefully. Who are you? I'm Connell. I work here. And what is this place? That dialogue never makes sense. It forces you to loop anyway.
Hi.
You see a middle-aged woman, her face care-lined and compassionate. She looks like she's led a hard life. Can I help you with something, stranger? Who are you? I'm Lena. I supervise these other two. She waves a hand at her companions. What is it you do here? I just told you. This is a storehouse. I'm the supervisor. Things get stored here, things get taken out of here. She shrugs. Not much to tell, really. I'm looking for a floating sarcastic skull. Have you seen it anywhere? A floating sarcastic skull. Sorry, haven't seen one around here. If you're looking for skulls, I'd try the Bones of the Night. You look like you're into scars. And sure as Baylors hate pit fiends, Lothar decorate you with a few more. Well, not the most helpful people. You see a hulking man, dull-faced and slack-jawed. His muscles, however, are truly a sight to behold. He regards you steadily with his dead eyes. What? Who are you? No talk me, talk Lena. He waves his oak-like arm at the woman supervisor. Just a few questions. No talk me! Alright. Farewell.
Right.
Just hard nope, apparently. Why can't I draw a square?
Your path is mine.
Quick save, quick load. There we go.
I'm gone.
Whenever the game just breaks, I just load. What is the issue with the warehouse? Maybe I talk to the vault? None of the NPCs will talk to me about it. This might be the only counter you can talk over. The crate bears the symbol of a skull and has a slogan engineered for eternity engraved on it. Oh. Open it. What do you want from me?
Why not? Sad who I am. Live in shadows.
That appears to be where the blueprints would be, but I can't interact with it. And, like, no, I don't think any of the NPCs had dialogue about the supposed struggle. Is there, like, a secret entrance? Can't click on this inspection spot. Weird. There's a question mark there, but I can't trigger it. Huh.
I'm gone.
Well, made progress, but I don't know what to do with this one right now. Oh well.